Many of us grew up to believe the reception of the Spirit began at Pentecost and not before. Yet the Spirit acted throughout the Hebrew Scriptures, creating the universe, molding the people of Israel into a nation, moving its prophets, priests, and kings to act. In our Christian Scriptures, the Spirit implanted the very Son of God into the womb of Mary and inspired Elizabeth and her son, the Baptist, to declare him the Christ. In fact, the activity of the Spirit so saturated the Scriptures, we might be tempted to ask the opposite question. What's so special about the gift of the Spirit upon the apostles? In John chapter 20, the risen Lord appeared to his disciples on Easter night. He wished them peace, then breathed the Spirit upon them with the command to breathe it in. And with the gift of the Spirit came a mission. Go, proclaim the forgiveness of sins. Those who received the message would be forgiven. Those who did not condemn themselves. In Acts chapter 2, the Spirit descended upon the disciples in a dramatic fashion. The wind blew like the very breath of God, entered the house and inflamed all gathered with the special gifts of the Spirit, courage and language. In other words, they boldly proclaimed the good news in a way their audience could clearly understand. Both in John and in Acts, the Spirit came upon the disciples with one purpose, to evangelize. That's what made Easter night and Pentecost so unique. The Spirit was always present in the lives of the disciples, but they didn't feel compelled to go out and spread the good news in the same way it drove Jesus. But on the night the risen Lord breathed on his followers, and on that morning when the house shook and the flames rested upon all those inside, the Spirit implanted the passion and means to spread the good news. And the disciples responded. We are proof of those charisms given 2,000 years ago. On Pentecost, the promise of the Spirit was realized. Through his risen Son, the Father poured out his Spirit upon the faithful. But with that gift came a responsibility to share that gift with others. As God has loved us, we are to love others. As God blesses us, we are to share those blessings with others. As God gives us faith, we are to share that belief with others. The fullness of the Spirit impels us to share that gift with all we come in contact with, so we can show others what life in the Spirit really means.